It's the boy doing Drake today, Drizzy. This one's interesting because Drake is one of those people that for my whole life I've seen this guy at the top of the game, but I've never kind of delved deeply into his kind of psyche and his mindset. I think with him compared to maybe other artists, something about him that I like is the fact that he makes everything that he does look so effortless and so easy that it's only now that I'm older that I actually wondered, like, man, for him to stay at the top of the game for over a decade, being in the Billboard Hot 100 for a whole 500 weeks, breaking all of these records, the mindset that he must have must be literally one in a billion or one in a trillion, literally. So what we're going to do, we're going to just break down some clips and kind of just understand the mindset Drake had before he was successful and how that helped him in being successful, and not only being successful, but maintaining. I mean, to maintain something for more than 2 to 3 years is amazing. I think having a rap career is just the same as having an athlete. If you survive 2 years, then you're doing well. If you survive even 5 years, legend, damn near. 7 plus, literally Hall of Fame, and that's what Drake's done. So we're gonna break down some clips. Yeah, so in this clip we're gonna talk about how Drake uses positive influences around him to kind of drive him to do more. He knows that if he's not working, then some of his colleagues are gonna actually be working, like Jay and Ye, so he keeps working hard.
Nah, it's more the influential people that I know. I don't really think about the people that did negative things to me. I think about the individuals like Wayne, like Ross, like Ye, like the guys that I know. You know, if I take tonight off, I know that one of them is probably in the studio crafting something magical. You know, so I should probably stay a little longer. I should probably not go to the club. I should just, work, because I know that there's somebody else working if I decide to go play. You know what I'm saying? So I just use like individuals, and especially like probably one of the most influential people like in that regard obviously is Wayne, but as well Jay is one of those guys too. That's one guy like you can guarantee if he's going in there and rapping, it's gonna be something great. So I just use people, I use positive inspiration as opposed to like they're like, oh man, that guy still owes me. Like, nah, I don't. It's all good, man. I'm in a great positive headspace right now. I don't want to give anybody no problems. I don't want no problems. I just want people to like appreciate this music.
I really like this clip here because you got Drake talking about using positive energy to kind of propel him. I think in the rap game, a lot of people like to use negative energies from the haters to kind of use that to fuel them. And I think if you do that, the only issue is that you can have a chip on your shoulder. And once you have that, I think you can really hear that in the rap. So eventually when you do get to a certain level, it's hard to kind of go past that. And usually inside or mentally, you might still always feel like you're not loved. But I think that with Drake using those positive reinforcements, like he said, Wayne, Ye and Jay, knowing that if he doesn't work, then they're going to be working. I think the fact that they can kind of positively push him, I think it's great. And I think we can apply that to our lives. It's kind of like if you've got positive people around you who are always working hard, you know that if you take a day off, then they're going to be working and then you're kind of going to miss out. So it creates a healthy competition. Whereas if you kind of go in from a space of, oh, I'm going to prove everyone wrong and all that kind of stuff, I think, don't get me wrong, at the start it could work. But I think when you get to the point where Drake is at, for example, once you've proved them wrong, that motivation can kind of die down, and then you see that the content is going to get watered down, and the quality of it just won't be as good. So I think the positivity, just keeping positive people around you and always having that healthy competition and using that competition to drive you is one of the reasons why Drake has been here for over 10 years, right? In this clip, we got Drake talking about kind of disconnecting from the end goal and enjoying the process.
And maybe that's why people say I'm there, because I disconnect from it. My uncle always told me something early in my life, which stuck with me, which is that while you're on the journey, you have to disconnect from the end goal, because if you're just focused on some end goal, then you might get there, but it'll be hard to progress past that because you're so focused on that one destination that it's like, you maybe forget everything in between, and maybe you could have done more in between. He always told me, like, just be here right now, live right now, and do the best you can right now. Don't worry about what that end goal is. It's great to have goals, it's great to have dreams, but it's just like you get too attached to it, and sometimes it could be a self-destructive thing. So, I just kind of try and progress as much as I can, like right now.
I think that this is a really important clip just because given the current day climate, we hear a lot about setting goals, setting achievement and all of that kind of stuff. And I kind of agree with Drake here. I think it is important to set those goals, set those big goals. But I think what happens a lot of the time is that mentally people will set the goal, they kind of don't really enjoy the process, if that makes sense, because they're so focused on the goal. They get to the goal, they sometimes realize that the goal wasn't big enough, so then once they get to that one goal, it can kind of cause a mental breakdown to where it's even hard to break past that barrier. Whereas if you kind of have the goal in the back of your mind, but just enjoy the process and just do as much as you can in the present moment, you'll probably get past that goal without even realizing. And then from there, the sky's your limit. And we can kind of see that with Drake's career. I mean, I'm sure at this point there, he probably didn't feel as though he was going to be the number one artist for 10 years, I'm going to assume. I mean, that's not really a goal that most people would have. And I think that him not attaching to that goal, him kind of just keep pushing each year, he was able to probably surpass his original goals. His original goal was to be as important as Lil Wayne. I feel like he had done that within probably 5 years. And then after that, it's just been a steady incline from there. And I think that's because he disconnected from the final goal. He just enjoyed the process and he just went all in. Man, so we got this last clip where Drake's talking about getting success in his first album but not being content, still working hard and wanting to better the results of that second album.
Great, it's a great start. I have bigger plans for this next album. It's gonna sound a lot better. I'm gonna rap a lot better, sing a lot better.
Because you were bad on the first one? I'm confused.
I mean, not bad, but to me, I listen to it and I see where I could improve.
So you're a perfectionist?
I'm just a constant worker. I'm just really never satisfied. I wouldn't say a perfectionist because that would mean I'm striving for perfection, and perfection doesn't exist.
I like that.
But I'm a hard worker, so it was cool to sell those records. And next time, I just want to sell more. I want to sell like 1 million, maybe like first week or.
Man, I really think the mentality that Drake's got in this clip is amazing. Like the pinpoint focus, the calmness that he's got when she's talking about his awards and his accolades is great. I think it's commonplace for us to see artists when they even go gold and when they even start to sell records, you can see that they get gassed, they take their foot off the pedals, but Drake's the complete opposite. I mean, he just finished his album maybe a few months prior and then he's already realized that there's flaws in it, and he's kind of talking about wanting to improve for that next album and also doubling the sales. And I think the fact that he's kind of got those thoughts already so early on in his career, we could see that from then till now, because this was about 11 years ago he did this, so we can see from then till now, the progression from then till now, everything he kind of said happened. He did sell 1 million first week, he did improve with his singing, he did improve with his rapping. And I think something else that's important is the fact that he remained very calm. He remained very calm when she was talking about his accolades. He didn't you can tell by his calmness that he wasn't going to get complacent. And I think whenever someone's calm, whenever someone's quiet and coy like that, you know that they kind of know what they're doing and they've got complete confidence in themselves. And I think that the fact that he's calm again, it makes it look as though he did it easily. So I think, again, that is one of the main reasons why Drizzy's been successful for the last decade.